Good morning, everybody. I'd like to call to order the City of West Palm Beach Special Magistrate Code Enforcement Agenda. Today's January 20th, 2021. My name is Keith Davis. I'm the Special Magistrate appointed by the City to preside over today's agenda. Please silence any cell phones you may have so they don't interrupt our proceedings. That'll be appreciated. And then if you're going to be speaking to me about any of the items on our agenda today, your testimony needs to be under oath, so I need to swear you in. If you're able, if you'll please stand and raise your right hands if you're going to be testifying. I'll swear everybody in together. Thank you. Do each of you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You could have a seat. We'll proceed through the agenda with cases for either inspectors or respondents who are present. When your case is called, if you're a respondent, you can come up to the podium to my right. The way we'll proceed through each case is I'll hear from the city's witness or witnesses first. They'll present testimony. There may be documents and photographs that will appear on the screen that you'll have an opportunity to look at. Once the city's concluded its presentation, you'll have an opportunity to ask questions of the city's witnesses and present any additional testimony or additional documents that you may have for your case at that time. Once I've heard everything from both sides, I will, in all likelihood, enter an order that resolves the matter in some form or fashion. So with that, let's go ahead and proceed.
Okay, first case number 1506, Huron Place, CE20090389.
Good morning, I'm Richard McCoy with the building inspector with the City of West Palm Beach. I'm covering this for Art Lang, who's out on medical leave. It was posted on 12/31/2020. He was certified mail, was sent out on 1/8/21. It was for work. They installed windows without a permit.
What was it, window installation you said?
I'm sorry?
What was the work, window installation?
Window install without a permit.
Thank you.
They have a permit now, but it hasn't been picked up, and I'm suggesting giving them another 30 days and then $50 a day after that.
Thank you. Do we have anybody here on behalf of the respondent for this case? With the certified mail and posting that you testified to, I do find proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the evidence, I'll find that the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow an additional 30 days for compliance, thereafter assess daily fines of $50 per day until compliance is achieved. Thank you.
Number 2837, Lytle Street, CE20030436. Number 2837, Lytle Street.
Morning, Dan Kempa, City West Palm Building Inspections. This case is for paver log driveways installed with no permits and inspections. Owner was notified by mail and posting at the property, and I believe the owner or the owner's rep is here.
Yeah, I'm the owner. It's Kelly Rios.
Good morning.
Good morning. I applied yesterday for the permit. I thought the guys who did the driveway were going to do it, and they haven't, so.
Okay, just let me finish hearing from
Okay.
Mr. Kempa, and then I'll come right back over to you, ma'am, okay? Go ahead.
City would recommend 30 days to comply, $100 a day thereafter.
Has permit been applied for at this point, or?
No.
Okay.
I did yesterday, sorry.
Is 30 days enough turnaround time, assuming good faith efforts moving forward? Is 30 days sufficient to get the permit?
30 days should be enough time to get the permit and get the inspections.
All right, let me come on over and hear from a respondent. Yes, ma'am, if you could tell me your name and address, please.
It's Kelly Rios, 837 Lytle Street.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
I applied yesterday for the permit. Like I said, I thought the guys who did
Can I get you a little closer to the microphone? I'm having a little trouble hearing.
I thought the guys who did the driveway applied for it, but they didn't, so.
Okay.
I did it yesterday.
Oh, yesterday you said?
Yeah,
you-
I submitted it through
Okay.
the DS, the email that they, when I called, it said to submit to.
So once the permit's issued, we just have to have an inspection, and then that should close this out. All right, so the city's recommending 30 additional days to get that taken care of, since you've already applied. It sounds like that should be enough time.
Okay.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to tell me, ma'am?
That's it.
All right. I do find proper notice in this case. Respondent is present, and the city has the posting and certified mail documents in the file. Based on the testimony, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow the additional 30 days for compliance. The permit's already been applied for, so that shouldn't be a problem. Daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed if compliance is not achieved within 30 days. So if you're getting close to that 30 days and it's not wrapped up, stay in touch with the city in terms of making sure we get it buttoned up so that you don't have a daily fine issue.
All
Okay?
right. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Here's a copy of your order. Ms. Rios? Thank you. Number 6909 30th Street, CE 200400073. Number 6909 30th Street.
I'm Richard McCoy with the City of West Palm Beach Building Inspector. This property was cited, it was posted on 1/4/2021, and certified mail was also sent out on 1/4/2021. They have a permit in process. It hasn't been picked up yet. So I'm recommending another 30 days and $50 a day after that to comply.
This was for chimney work?
For chimney work, yes. They demoed the chimney without a permit because it was unsafe. And it's historical, so it has to be put back the way it was before.
Are there any remaining safety issues with
No.
this? Okay. All right, looks like we have respondent present. Sir, if you could tell me your name and address, and then you can tell me about the case.
Yeah, it's Ray Frambies, 12977 La Rochelle Circle.
All right, and are you one of the managers of the LLC?
Excuse me?
Are you the manager of the LLC?
Yes, I am.
Thank you, go ahead.
Yeah, so we're renovating the entire house, the interior. We had an interior demolition, which we had that. We're done with the interior demolition. And the chimney was pulling from the house, probably about 6 inches, pulling the interior wall out. So we took down the chimney. So we applied for the permit. We applied for the permit probably in March of last year. I thought the interior renovation plan would be done by now. We were going to include that into the chimney into the interior renovation, but it's taken a lot longer than I expected. So now we've submitted for demolition of the chimney. It's been approved through the historic and building, so I'm just waiting for the email to get the permit. Then I'll call for a final, and we'll be able to close it out.
All right, so it's already been through historic and
Yeah.
through
Yeah,
building, you said?
I resubmitted on the 8th of this month, so building already approved it back in March, but historic denied it. So now historic approved it
Okay.
last week.
Yeah, I just want to make sure the 30 days with the historic element isn't going
Yeah,
to...
they're at a point now, I think 30 days should do them, but they still have to put it back and have their final inspection, so.
Okay.
It's as far as the demolition, or
Well, the permits for the reconstruction of the chimney.
I've got it down for demolition. I was,
So,
I'll
let me
double
ask the
check on
question
that.
of the city. Are you considering compliance to be the issuance of the permit or getting all the work done? and inspected.
It has to, all the work has to be done.
Well, I'm concerned 30 days won't be enough for that.
If it's only for, and I don't have the information with me, but if it's only for a demo, then he's already complied, basically, he just has to close out
All
the
that would be
demo
left is
permit.
issuing the permit and doing the demo and inspection.
Yes.
And that would comply the code enforcement case out. All right.
Yeah, and then we'll include the chimney rebuild on the entire interior renovation.
And that would be a separate issue. That's not part of the
That's a
code
separate
enforcement
permit.
process. So, all right, well, I'm having that clarification. I think I agree the 30 days should be sufficient, given you've already gotten through the historic piece of
Yeah,
this.
it
and
should be any
usually
day now. I could,
the hard part. All right. Anything else you'd like to tell me, sir?
no, that's all.
All right, thank you. Then in this case, I do find proper notice. We have the respondent present, and the city has the appropriate notice documents in its file. I will find, based on the evidence, that the property remains in violation as cited, and accept the city's recommendation, allow an additional 30 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $50 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved. So the same thing I told the respondent before you, if you're getting close to that 30 days and it's not buttoned up, stay in touch with the city and do whatever needs to be done so you don't have a daily fine issue.
So I'm clear, I applied for the demo permit. Once I get that, which would today or tomorrow, I call for a final on that, and that'll close out this.
That's my understanding, because it's the demolition of the chimney
Right.
that's the issue.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then we'll include that into the rebuild.
Yep,
Okay.
okay. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Sir, here's a copy of your order. Number 71010 Bear Island Drive, CE2011023.
Good morning, I'm Richard McCoy with City of West Palm Beach Building Inspector. This property was cited for work done on the roof without a permit. They did some repairs around the skylight. She was cited on, she was posted on 1/4/2021, and she was also sent out on 1/4/2021 a certified mail. Again, the work has been completed because the roof was leaking, but she needs to pull her permit. She has done nothing at this point in that regard. So the city is recommending 30 days to apply and get the permit, and then $100 a day after that.
These were for all three of the skylights that I saw?
Yes.
Is there anybody here on behalf of the respondent for this case? All right, there is not, but I do find proper notice with your posting and your certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow an additional 30 days for the respondent to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved. Okay, thank you.
Number 9212 Gregory Place, CE201000239.
Good morning, my name is Tim Large. I'm the Chief Plumbing Inspector for the City of West Palm Beach Building Division. Excuse me. This property was initially cited in October of 2020 for exterior and interior alterations being done without a permit. To date, we had proper service with certified mail, return receipt, and also posting of the property. To date, there's been no forward progress shown on this violation, and the city's requesting that all permits be obtained within 30 days or a $100 a day fine be accrued.
Are we just at the, talking about the plumbing work, or is it the building, electrical, mechanical?
There was also interior alterations being done. They cut the slab. There's building electrical work that was apparently done on the interior, also without permits.
Okay, is there anybody here on behalf of the respondent for this case? All right, there is not, but you have proper service with the signed certified mail and the posting, so I will find proper notice Based on the testimony and the evidence, I do find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allowing the respondent an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Thanks.
This case number 24-440 Lytle Street, CE 20090344, number 24-440 Lytle Street.
Good morning, Officer Luster, West Palm Code.
Good morning.
This property was cited for safe egress, exterior painting, lighting standards in regards to having shutters over the windows, can placement, parking requirement in need of driveway, remove prohibited vehicles, and screening of restricted vehicles, which is a trailer, and outdoor storage. So far, the painting has come into compliance, the lighting standards, everything is coming to compliance except for the driveway at this point. And I have spoke with the property owner and the tenant on more than one occasion.
No, I'm his son-in-law.
Son-in-law, okay, very good.
Yeah, we already applied for the permit last year, and then the guy's doing on it. He says he's working on it.
Okay, just give me 1 second so that I'm clear. The 94-482A is the only code section that remains in violation, the parking requirements?
Yes.
Okay, everything else is complied.
And this was certified and posted on 12/17/2020.
Okay. Tell me again, what is your recommendation? For
My recommendation is, I just turned from it. 45 more days or $50 per day after, according to how long they got to.
Now, how many days? I'm sorry.
45.
45.
Not hearing me well. Yeah, just to obtain the permit and get all the proper inspections, 45 days.
Okay, all right. Let me come over and hear from the respondents. If you can tell me your name and address, please, and then you can tell me about the case.
Well, this is my father-in-law, that's his property.
Okay,
440 Little Street. He already applied for that. I mean, the contractor already applied for the permit. And he said his work is in progress. We're just waiting for him to let us know when it's ready.
all right, so the city is recommending an additional 45 days, another month and a half to get this taken care of. I think since the permit's been applied for, that should be enough time.
Yeah.
I don't have any objection to that. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me, sir?
No, that's it.
All right. Anything else from the city?
No.
Okay, well, based on, first of all, I do find proper notice, respondent's representative is present, and the city has proper notice documents in its file. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation of City Code Section 94-482A regarding the driveway and driveway apron, but has complied with all other code sections cited in the notice. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow an additional 45 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $50 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Number 43-744 44th Street, CE 20120250, number 43-744 44th Street.
Good morning.
Morning.
Ray Leung, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 744 44th Street was initially cited on 12/19/20 with a notice of violation posted at the property in City Hall on 1/4/21. Certified mail was sent on 12/21/20. Property was cited for 78-1 obstruction of right-of-way and 18-215B failure to comply. Contact has been made with the owner. He was here this morning, but he had to leave. He did request more time from the city for compliance. Special magistrate, the overgrowth at this property obstructing the city's right-of-way poses a potential threat to the health, safety, and welfare of the community by being a possible haven for vermin, pests, etc. Therefore, the city requests an additional 10 days to come into compliance or abatement.
It's that white van that's blocking the sidewalk and the,
No, it's the overgrowth of the hedges obstructing the sidewalk.
oh, okay.
The van is actually a different case that's going to be presented today as well.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about the vegetation in this case?
Correct.
You said the respondent was here, but he had to leave?
Correct.
All right. I do find proper notice with the certified mail and posting. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I agree the violation is a health, safety, and welfare concern, so I will accept the city's recommendation, allow 10 days for the respondent to comply. Thereafter, the city is authorized to abate the violation and assess the costs.
Thank you.
Number 21, 3812 Shelley Road South, CE20110137. Number 21, 3812 Shelley Road South.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On November 13th, the property at 3812 Shelley Road South was cited for unsanitary pools and spas and repair of pool enclosure. The property was posted January 4th. Certified mail was sent November 16th. Certified mail was received November 18th. I have since been in contact with the property owner's daughter. The property owner also had their contractor reach out to me. I guess their plans on redoing the pool. With that being said, city is recommending permits be pulled within 90 days and repair of the enclosure within 60 days, or $50 a day until compliance is achieved.
So we're talking about a swimming pool that's surrounded by a screen enclosure framework, but it's not secure.
Correct.
Okay. It looks like the pool has water in it.
Yes, it does. Look like at one point they tried to cover it, and that covering has been decrepit since then. So something needs to be done with the pool.
Okay.
But they're making an effort. I mean, the contractor did reach out to me, so that's why we're requesting the 90 days to at least see the permits in our system.
And the 90 days would be for the condition of the pool itself.
If they're gonna redo the pool, yes, because it's gonna require permits if they do redo the pool.
All right. All right, let me hear from the respondent. Yes, ma'am, if you could tell me your name and address, and then you can tell me about the case.
Yes, good morning. My name is Stacy Copeland. The address is 3812 Shelley Road South. I am the owner's daughter. My mom is 75 years old. She just had triple bypass surgery, and I am trying to rectify this situation, but having to take her to cardiac rehab 3 days a week, this just hasn't honestly been the priority. Her health has been the priority, and I didn't realize it was in this bad a shape. But I have spoken with a contractor. Actually, if you're asking for, well, let me clarify. What the city is asking for is 90 days on the permit, because I know it's gonna take a lot longer to get that fixed, because we're trying to get the entire screen enclosure done. And the pool, because the pool pump is broken.
Okay. So
I'm trying to handle all this for my mom,
and I understand that, but, I will tell you that unsecured swimming pools, I have zero tolerance and zero patience for. I'm not even going to give you the 60 days. I'll let you tell me anything else you'd like to tell me. I appreciate your circumstances. However, first, I will find proper notice in this case. Respondent's representative is present and the city has proper notice documents in the file. I do find the property remains in violation as cited. I find the violation constitutes a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. This is an unsecured swimming pool.
So when you say unsecure, you mean just the screen enclosure itself?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's very clear the screen enclosure is, there's framework, but the
Yes.
screening is non-existent. It certainly isn't securing the pool or protecting anybody from getting in there. I'll accept the city's recommendation on the violation of City Code Section 18106N. I'll go ahead and allow the 90 days for the condition of the pool, but on 94304D2C, I want that pool secured within 48 hours. However, whatever that means, whether it means you get the screen enclosure fixed or there's some other code compliant solution. If that is not done in 48 hours, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate that violation, and assess the cost. If the abatement does not occur and that is not secured within 48 hours, I'm going to assess $250 a day fines until compliance is achieved with that being secured. I have no tolerance and no patience for unsecured swimming pools, ma'am.
I understand that.
So that is my order.
So what are we supposed to do in 48 hours?
I'll have to mail the order. I have to mail it, I have to prepare it. Thank you.
I'm still not, my questions weren't answered, but.
Case number 25-411 Wilder Street, CE20120028. Number 25-411 Wilder Street.
Okay, good morning. Officer Lester, West Palm Code. This property was cited for requirement of a building permit, inspections for required permit, numbering standards, and a landscape plan, and siting of the swale. This initial case started because of a complaint from this property owner in regards to the next door property of the overgrowth that was impeding his driveway. That property owner came in, which is her husband, and I explained to him that I'll take care of the overgrowth on the other property, but you are in violation with your driveway. We can't have a complete concreted yard. So I went out, met with the homeowner, explained to her what she had to do in order to come into compliance, which a certain percentage of the front yard must be landscaped. And that would require removing some of the pavers and putting in some kind of approved plant material. I explained that, and she's asked for 6 months in order to come into compliance, which I don't have a problem with that. And the property was posted on 12/17, and certified mail was signed on 10/6/2020. I only want to give 5 days for the address characters to be placed on the property, and that's my request.
And I'm sorry, Valerie, tell me your recommendation again.
It's 6 months in order to get the driveway into compliance. Either they're going to remove some of the pavers in order to get the approved landscaping in that particular area, in order to have the percentage that's required by the code.
I got it. Okay, I didn't hear the 6-month part, so that it makes sense now. Okay. All right, let me hear from the respondent. Yes, ma'am, if you could tell me your name and address, and then you can tell me about the case.
My name is Rita Megan at 411 Wilder Street. We have complied with the numeric ones. We've put the house numbers there. We're trying to do the driveway. It's just been difficult because 70%. So I'm hoping for two things: the 6 months which she's working with me, and a little bit less on the landscaping, because I do have cars that I need to park there, and the city garbage trucks go there all the time, so I don't want to park my cars on the street. And I am working with landscaping. Actually, he's there right now trying to give me an estimate. The other estimates that I've gotten are pretty high. They're $8,000-9,000, and I don't have that kind of money right now. So that's why I asked for the extensions of 6 months.
I have no problem with the 6 months. And by the way, the house looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes, it does.
I'm hoping that I can, I don't mind doing landscaping, and I will take some of the pavers out. I'm just hoping maybe 50% instead of 70%.
Well, that's going to be, I mean, if the code says 75, then I don't know if there are,
But can it be potted plants and things like that as well, instead of removing 70% of the paver?
I don't know the answer to that question. You'll have to work with the city on how to make that 75% work, or if there are other options. I don't know. I'm going to give you the 6 months to comply. How you get to compliance, I suggest you work with the city,
Okay.
either through code enforcement or whatever the appropriate department is. If there are other ways to get there, I'm certain they can talk you through that, but I don't know. I can't change the 75% requirement
Okay.
here.
Special
All I can do,
magistrate.
I can give you the 6 months, and I will, and to come into compliance, and however you get there is going to be,
Okay, so the third thing I was cited on was the sodding of the swell. But like I was telling her, that the roots are so far up, and also the landscaping has told me that no grass will grow there unless I remove the tree or remove the roots to a certain point. And then, but I'm afraid if I take the roots out, the tree may die. It's not that healthy of a tree, it's very old. So maybe if I can remove the tree and put a new tree there?
That is in the right-of-way, the city's right-of-way.
Uh-huh.
And you have to have a permit to remove that tree. And if you're planning on putting any other vegetation back there, you have to have a permit from utility engineering. And they'll have to come out and inspect that particular part of the property to make sure that there's no sewer lines, no water lines, anything of that nature that could be interrupted by reinstalling a tree. I believe that's a gumbo limbo tree, and they are very hardy trees, and you can cut the root that's interfering with the sidewalk, and it shouldn't have a problem on surviving. But it's not a full foliage kind of tree. It lets in a lot of sunlight. So you don't have to put sod, but it's a approved plant material, so you can get those little running vines, stuff that
Okay,
really,
anything
yeah.
I can put there. I don't have to put sod there. Okay.
Yeah, and
That's
in
fine.
reference to the driveway, I gave Miss Rita 2 different papas from years back on how that driveway was actually structured, and that centerpiece was the
Sodded.
vegetation. That's
Yeah.
where the sod was.
Yeah.
And she'll have drive space on both sides
Yeah.
of the property if she go back and do exactly what was initially done from Palm Beach County records. So, because I went through the whole records to try to find out some kind of way for her to work this out.
okay,
So
well, it sounds
I've
like
been working with her hard.
there are options, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think 6 months should be enough time
Yeah,
to figure it
plenty
out.
of time. Yeah,
So,
plenty of time.
okay, anything else you'd like to tell me, ma'am?
No, thank
All right.
you. I appreciate it.
Then I do find proper notice in this case. Respondent is present, and the city has the appropriate documents for notice in its file. And based on the testimony and the evidence, I'll find the property remains in violation. Is the numbering standard still in
Yeah,
violation?
she said I'll check it out, but 5 days is what I asked for.
Yeah.
I'll check it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I should have sent a picture or something.
No,
But
I'll
it's
drive
there.
They'll just come out and inspect it and
Okay.
sign off on it if that's already in
Yep,
compliance.
that's fine.
So I will accept the city's recommendation in this case. I'm going to allow 5 days to comply with 78-6 regarding the numbering standards. I'm going to allow an additional 6 months on the remaining violations to come into compliance. What is your recommendation? on-
$50 per day after, if not in compliance.
How much?
50.
50,
And
thank
this mass is not having a great time here.
If compliance is not achieved within the 6 months or the 5 days, there will be daily fines of $50 a day. So make sure you get the numbering standards inspected right away.
Yes.
And based on what I've heard, I think 6 months should be plenty of time to figure out the solutions for the
Yeah.
remaining issues.
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 5, 736 Talladega Street, CE 201003881, 736 Talladega Street, number 5.
Good morning. Sonia Bin, City of West Palm Beach, code compliance. This property was cited on October 28, 2020. The property was posted on October 30th, 2020. Certified mail was sent on October 29, 2020. This property was cited for code 18103B, 18162A, 18103E, and 2232A. I have made contact with the property owner. The property is still in compliance for all code 18162A, 2232A, 18103E, and 18103B. To date, the property owner applied for a rental license as well as meeting with different contractors. The city is requesting 60 days to obtain permits or an additional 120 days to gain compliance or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
You said all the violations remain outstanding?
Yes.
But they have applied for?
They did apply for the rental license, and they're actually meeting with different contractors for the other violations.
Okay. All right, let me hear from the respondents. Yes, ma'am, if you could tell me your name and address, and then you
Hi,
can
good
tell me
morning.
about the case.
Yeah, my name is Yoni Lima, the owner of the property located on 736 Talladega Street.
Go ahead.
So we received the notice, and we immediately, start putting together like a plan on how to resolve, because it's, we call several contractors to get us proposals, but the end of the year was very, hectic, and everybody was already busy with many stuff, but we managed to get 2 proposals at the end of last year, and one that just came in yesterday. So we're trying to make a decision, the more financially logical for us to proceed. Also, some of the contractors say that it's taking a long time to get the window permits in the city. I don't know, but I think we are hoping with the extra time, we will be able to get it done. Yeah, we're ready to move forward next week, and then whatever we could handle, since we get the notice until now, we will be trying to get it done. The property is empty, like nobody's there, so at least the safety is being taken care of. Yeah.
And the
So
city
until
is-
we resolve the issue as they requested.
And the city is suggesting an additional 2 months to get the permits.
2 or 3 months.
Okay, so correction, there's a tenant in the main structure of the property,
Okay.
but the additional structure in the back is empty. So what I'm asking for is 60 days to gain, to obtain the permit, and an additional 120 days to gain compliance
Right.
of the violations.
2 months to get the permits.
And then
two more months after that,
Correct.
total of 4 months to actually get everything in compliance.
Yes.
So that, based on what I'm hearing, that sounds like a reasonable amount of time. I don't have any objection to doing that.
And we're ready to start as soon as next week. We're gonna set it with a contractor to start the repairs and everything as per
Okay.
the code.
All right, thank you, ma'am, I appreciate it. Anything else that you'd like to tell me? All right, anything else from the city?
No.
Okay. All right, then, in this case, I do find proper notice with the posting and the certified mail, and respondents are present. Based on the evidence and the testimony, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'm going to accept the city's recommendation in this case, allow an additional 60 days to obtain the necessary permits in this case, and allow an additional total of 120 days to have all the work done and all compliance, everything in compliance. If either the 60-day deadline to obtain the permits or the 120-day deadline to complete the work are not met, then daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved with each of those benchmarks.
Yes.
Okay?
I'll have to mail the order.
Yes.
I'll mail the order.
Thank you.
Actually, I noticed the address is not there.
Did you correct it with the property appraiser with the county? The property appraiser. If you want to, go ahead and write an email down, and I'll give you the information.
We never got the letter.
Yeah, you need to update it with the county. And that's where we get it from.
I'm gonna give
That's fine. Number 20, 4200 Bear Lakes Court, CE 201100103. Number 20, 4200 Bear Lakes Court. No problem. Thank you.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On November 10th, property at 4200 Bear Lakes Court was cited for roof and disrepair. Property was posted November 19th. Certified mail was sent November 16th. The certified mail was received November 20th. I have since been in contact with the property manager. This property has several buildings with units inside them. Just about every building I went to on this property is in need of repair or replacement. Due to the water intrusions throughout the property, I'm receiving numerous complaints from residents due to the water intrusion with water damage, mold, things of that nature. With that being said, city's recommending that permits be in the system due to the repairs of these roofs within 60 days or 120 days to have everything completed. City's also recommending $150 a day until compliance is achieved.
Okay, let me come over and hear from the respondent. Yes, ma'am, if you could tell me your name and address, then you can tell me about the case.
Good morning, Jamie Griffin. I'm the community manager for 4200 Bear Lakes.
If I can get you a little closer to the microphone.
I'm the community manager for Renaissance.
Thank you.
We do have bids for what is being requested. They have been submitted to our corporate office. However, due to the amount of the bids, they're requesting additional funds to get the repairs done. So we're just asking for additional time to get the repairs made.
Okay, the city's recommending 60 more days to get the permits and then a total of basically 4 months, 120 days to get the work done. Do you believe that's sufficient time from your side to get this into compliance?
They're requesting more time,
What's the request for?
at least 6 months.
Okay, let me ask the city what your thought on that request.
To me, that's not going to be sufficient because, I mean, residents are continuously complaining about the water intrusion. So this is something that needs to be rectified now.
Okay. If permits are applied for in good faith,
Yeah,
right
I'll take that as in
away,
good
will
faith.
there be any problem getting those issued within 60 days?
It shouldn't be an issue. They already have bids out. They just need to pick a contractor.
All right. How many, you said that there's multiple buildings and they all need work. How many? What are we talking about?
Oh,
2
my goodness.
20?
She would be better inclined to tell you.
How many buildings are we talking about?
We have two buildings that need a complete, complete roofing, but then we have others that we've already repaired.
So for the code enforcement case, is it just the 2 buildings or is it?
I would like to see the 2 buildings as good faith, but I mean, I counted at least 8 buildings during my inspection. And each one has either fascia damage, missing roof tiles. But I mean, there were 2 that were really bad. And I believe it was building 4170 and 4180.
Okay. All right, anything else, ma'am, that you'd like to tell me on this one?
No.
All right. We do have proper notice in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I'm going to find that the property remains in violation as cited. I'm going to partially accept the city's recommendation. I'm going to require 60 days to get the permits in this case. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to allow you 150 days, which is like 5 months to get the work done. So the 60 is included in the 150, so you have 150 days basically from now to get everything done, and the permits need to be issued within the first 60 days. If either of those deadlines are not met, then there will be daily fines of $150 per day until the compliance benchmarks are achieved. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'll have to mail that order as well. I have to mail the order out. Yes, thank you. That's all we have for contested matters. Next case, number 3, 100 South Dixie Highway, CE 201-20304.
Good morning. Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. Property 100 South Dixie, more specifically Suite 205, business Boxygen is the name of the business. Property was initially cited on December 30th, 2020. Certified mail was sent on January 5th, 2021. We do have a signed certified mail receipt on file. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted on 11/4, 2020. The property was cited for 94402-B-2-5 prohibited portable signage. There was a sandwich board that this particular business was posting outside on an ongoing basis. In fact, prior to citing them, I actually went upstairs to the business. There was a lady there. I spoke to her, explained to her in great detail that particular piece of signage was not permissible.
Is that it right there?
Yeah, that piece of signage. And I spoke to her, explained to her that it was unacceptable, that also they had signage on the side of the building. They had signage on one of the exit doors leading outside. And I explained to them that they would need to get permits for that particular signage as well. And so as of last evening, the sandwich board was not there. I noted over the last couple of days, the sandwich board appears to be removed, but the other pieces of signage are still unacceptable, and there was no permits pulled for that signage as well. So in light of that, I'd like to give them 30 additional days in order to comply, or a fine of $150 per day be imposed.
Okay, so the other signs that still are in violation is the one that's attached to that door?
The door and also the wall.
The wall there?
Yes, outside,
door there.
In public view, yes.
Okay. All right, and we have no more respondents present. I do find proper notice in this case with the signed certified mail. Based on the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited, accept the city's recommendation, allow the respondent an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, there will be daily fines of $150 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 4, 907 21st Street, CE 201100238.
That's complied.
Number 8 is complied, 4912 South Dixie Highway, CE 201000081. Number 10, 941 Avon Road, CE 201100176.
And number 4 ended up being complied, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement, 941 Avon Road was cited for 94487B1, which is a prohibited vehicle. I actually cited this property November 17th, 2020. Certified mail mailed out January 7th, 2021, and posted January 10th, 2021. No contact with the owners of the property. It did come into compliance as of yesterday. So I'm just asking for a finding of fact because it did not meet my reinspection deadline.
What was the deadline in the notice of violation?
To reinspection date was the 18th, January 18th, 21.
And it complied on the 19th?
Just on yesterday.
Pardon?
Just on yesterday. I'm sorry, the reinspection date was November 30th, 2020.
Okay.
And it
so-
was just in compliant as of yesterday. Initial inspection.
All right, so there is proper notice with the certified mail and the posting. I will make a finding that the property is now in compliance but did not comply within the deadline set by the notice of violation, and therefore a finding of fact is made.
Thank you.
Number 11, 941 Avon Road is a duplicate of number 10. Number 12, 3300 Australian Court, CE20090347.
Good morning, Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 3300 Australian Court was cited on 9/23/20. The property was posted twice on October 1st and October 8th of 2020, and certified mail was sent on 9/25/20. The property was cited for 18-103B. I haven't had contact with the owner. However, the owner has spoken to the code supervisor. The city is asking for an additional 60 days or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
All right. I will find proper notice. I will find property remains in violation as cited. The evidence and the photographs are very clear. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow an additional 60 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 13, 965 39th Court, CE20120226.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 965 39th Court was cited on 12/17/20. The property was posted on 12/17/20 and certified mail was sent on 12/18/20. The property was cited for 74-34-A1J, 94-442C1, 94-4462C3, and 94-482A. I've had contact with the owner. The property has since complied with all code sections with the exception of 94-442C1. The city is asking for an additional 30 days or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
So everything's done except for the
landscaping.
putting down the sod or whatever they're putting down?
Correct.
Okay. All right, I will find proper notice with the certified mail and the posting in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation of City Code Section 94-442C1, but has complied with all other code sections. I'll accept the city's recommendation to allow the respondent an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 14, 316 28th Street, CE20120049.
Good morning, Joe Petrick, West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This case is in reference to a single-family house that was issued a notice of violation via certified mail and posting on December 10th for broken asphalt causing trip hazards in the driveway area. The exterior of the house in need of cleaning and painting. There was an SUV that was parking on the grass, and the house was being rented without a rental license. The notice of violation required compliance within 30 days for all code sections except for parking on the grass, which required compliance within 5 days. After the notice of violation was issued, I was contacted by the respondent, Eric, and we discussed ways to come into compliance. We have been in contact on 3 or 4 occasions since the notice of violation was issued. I spoke to Eric yesterday afternoon. He said he could not make today's hearing due to work obligations. I've also spoken to the tenant regarding the violations as well. As of today, the property remains in violation of Code Sections 18-162A for the rental license. A rental license was applied for since the notice of violation was issued. However, there were interior issues, possibly from water intrusion when the roof was leaking recently, which need to be addressed, along with the asphalt repairs on the exterior prior to the property being able to pass a rental inspection. The respondent and I have been in contact regarding the required repairs in order for him to obtain the rental license.
Okay.
Okay. 94-446-2, the landscape maintenance, weeds and overgrowth, and unmaintained landscaping remain. 18106G for the exterior of the structure. The roof soffits have been painted. However, the exterior still needs to be pressure washed and cleaned and painted. 18100 for safe egress. During our conversation yesterday afternoon, that's in reference to the asphalt, the broken areas of the asphalt. Eric stated that the asphalt was repaired as of yesterday afternoon, and inspection is needed to confirm that those repairs were done.
So that complied?
I'm not sure. I have to go
Oh,
out there
okay.
and still inspect on that. He stated he did. I just have to confirm that was the
Okay.
case. The only code section that I have in compliance is 94-482A, parking requirements. The SUV stop parking on the grass.
Okay.
All right. So the city's asking for compliance within 30 days or a $100 a day fine be assessed. While I was speaking with Eric yesterday afternoon, he stated that 30 days would be sufficient amount of time for to take care of those issues.
All right, thank you. I do find proper notice in this case with the certified mail and posting. Sounds like you're in touch and there's a path forward, so that's good. I will find the property remains in violation as cited, except for 94-482A, which has complied. I'll accept the city's recommendation to allow an additional 30 days for the respondent to cure the remaining violations. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Number 15, 436 27th Street, CE 201200058.
Joe Petrick, West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This case is reference to a single-family residence that was issued a notice of violation via certified mail and posting on December 10th for having weeds and overgrowth and gravel, including a gravel parking area along the alleyway to the rear of the house or residence. No permit for the parking area or wooden fence that was recently installed. So basically along the alleyway, that overgrowth and gravel, there was a parking area, a gravel parking area installed, and there's a new fence put up without a permit. The notice of violation required compliance within 30 days. After the notice of violation was issued, I was contacted by the respondent, CDU, and we discussed ways to come into compliance. CDU and I have spoke on a few occasions since the notice of violation was issued. As of today, the property remains out of compliance with Code Section 18106A. The gravel has started to be removed, however, some remains. So she plans on taking up the parking lot. She understands she can't have it back there, and the other gravel that's along the alleyway, she's in the process of taking that up as well. Code Sections 105.1 and Florida Building Code 110 required permits and inspections remain out of compliance. A permit has been applied for the fence. However, it still needs to be obtained. It's going through the review process right now. Code Section 94-482A for the parking requirements is now in compliance. The gravel parking area is in the process of being removed, and vehicles are no longer parking on any gravel. The city is asking for 30 days for the respondent to finish the gravel removal and to obtain a permit for the fence, or a $100 a day fine be assessed.
Okay. We'll find proper notice in this case with the certified mail and the posting. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited, but has complied with Section 94-482A. I'll accept the city's recommendation to allow the respondent an additional 30 days to cure the remaining violations. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 16 is complied, 435 25th Street, CE 201010007. Number 17, 510 43rd Street, CE 201200031.
Good morning. Christopher Thompson, City of West Palm Code Compliance. Property at 510 43rd Street was cited on 12/3/2020. Notice of violation was posted to City Hall on 12/4/2020. Property was cited for paint and/or pressure cleaning, outdoor storage. As of yesterday, I have not made contact with the homeowner, and the property is still not in compliance. City is requesting an additional 30 days to come into compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
All right, did you also have returned certified mail in this?
Yes,
Yeah.
12/4/2020.
Okay. All right, then with the posting, you have proper notice, and based on the testimony and the evidence, I'll find the property remains in violation as cited and accept the city's recommendation for an additional 30 days for the respondent to cure the violations. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 18, 4301 Pinewood Avenue, CE 201-20146.
Christopher Thompson, City of West Palm, co-compliance. Property at 4301 Pinewood was cited on 12/11/2020. Notice of violation, City Hall was posted on 12/11/2020. Property was cited for trash can placement, inoperable vehicle, and unpaved parking. I have not made contact with the homeowner. City is requesting an additional 30 days to come to compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
All right, I do find proper notice with the posting. In this case, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. Accept the city's recommendation to allow the respondent an additional 30 days to comply with the outstanding violations. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 19 is complied, 4807 Pinewood Avenue, CE 201-20147. Number 22, 6303 Paradise Cove, CE 201-20059.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul from McFarland. On December 4th, the property at 6303 Paradise Cove was cited for clean and sanitary pools, trash can placement, and swimming enclosure in need of repairs. The property was posted certified mail was sent December 8th. Certified mail was received December 10th. I have since been in contact with the sister of the property owner. Property owner was verbalized to me as being deceased, but the sister is residing at the property. We did go over the violations that exist on the property. The property has since come into compliance with the clean and sanitary pools, but the trash can placement and the repair of the screen enclosure still remain. With that being said, city's recommending 15 days for the trash can replacement, 30 days to repair the screen enclosure. It's only missing 2 screens that need to be reinstalled. I did verbalize that to the representative of the property. With that being said, city's recommending 15 days for the trash can placement, 30 days for the screen repair, and $50 a day until compliance is achieved.
All right. With the received certified mail, you have proper notice. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property has complied with 18106N, the clean and sanitary condition of the pool itself. It remains in violation of garbage can placement and the swimming pool access. I will accept the city's recommendation on the garbage can placement, allow an additional 15 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $50 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved. On 94304D2C, the swimming pool access, I find that to be a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. I will require compliance within 48 hours. Thereafter, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate that violation, and assess the costs. If it is not complied within 48 hours or abated, there will be daily fines of $250 per day until compliance is achieved.
Number 23, 5335 North Military Trail, number 31, CE 201-20060.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On December 4th, the business at 5335 North Military Trail, Suite 31, was cited for prohibited string lighting. There was an inspection report that was sent out on December 4th. It did fail inspection on December 31st. The property was posted on January 4th. Certified mail was also sent January 4th. The certified mail was returned January 9th. I did have a conversation with the business owner. At the time of posting the property, the business was in compliance, but it did not comply in a timely fashion. I did verbalize to the business owner that city will be requesting a finding of fact on this case.
All right, so the violation with those dashed lights going around all the window frames?
Correct.
Okay. I do find proper notice with the posting and the return to certified mail. I will, based on the testimony and the evidence, find that the property is now in compliance but did not comply within the time frame required by the notice of violation, so we will issue a finding of fact.
Thank you.
Number 26, 361 Franklin Road, CE 201000036.
Good morning, Officer Luster, West Palm Code. This property was posted on 12/21/2020. Certified mail was signed on 10/7/2020. It is in regards to replacement of an entire roof and obtaining a permit and required inspections. I have been in contact with the owner, and she's in litigation with the insurance company, and she called me day before yesterday, Monday, and let me know that they have made a final determination, and she should have the funds to complete the roof in 10 weeks. So I'm asking for 6 months, just in case anything doesn't go as well, and $50 per day after.
And after the 6 months, what?
$50 per day.
Pardon?
$50 per day.
That's actually good news. Usually when you hear about these litigation cases, there's no end in sight.
Excellent
so
news, yeah.
That's a,
Sometimes it can take 14 months and a year and a half,
all right, well, I do find proper notice with the signed certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I'll find the property remains in violation as cited. I'm going to accept the city's recommendation, allow the additional 6 months to cure the violations. Thereafter, daily fines of $50 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 27, 142 Alpine Road, CE 201000301.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code Enforcement. This property was posted on 12/21/2020. Certified mail was signed on 10/27/2020, and it was cited for disregard the numbering characters. She had those, I just overlooked them. And 78-1 obstruction of public right-of-way, which is the sidewalk, and the visibility triangle. And she's working on it, and what we need to do is come up with a determination, has she cut enough back in order for it to not be a visibility problem?
Okay.
And it started by numerous residents in the area complaining about almost being hit, getting out into the intersection. And I explained that to Mrs. Iris, but she was a little not happy with it. So I'm gonna ask for 30 more days just to make sure that those, what she has cut back is come into compliance. And the obstruction of the sidewalk, I haven't seen that in quite some time. It's the car that's poking out right there on the side of Washington. I haven't seen it in quite some time, so I'm assuming that it has also come into compliance. So 30 more days or $50 per day.
Okay. I will find proper notice with the signed certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I'll find that the property remains in violation as cited. Allow the additional 30 days for the respondent to comply and cure the violations. Thereafter, daily fines of $50 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 28, Forest Court, CE 201000370.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. This property was posted on 12/17/2020. Cert mail was signed on 10/31/2020. It's for excessive growth, tree and hedge overgrowth in the public right-of-way, and that's a easement behind this property, and obstruction of the public right-of-way, which was overgrowth of vegetation. It's a large lot that sits on the corner of Forest Hill and I-95. It abuts Forest Hill, and the opposite side abuts I-95. They have started, so I'm asking for 60 more days for them to come into compliance, or $100 per day, because it was a true overgrowth.
Is it otherwise a vacant lot?
It's a vacant lot, and they just let it get totally out of hand. The residents behind the lot, they were complaining it was so much vegetation, it was just entirely covering the easement. They couldn't even see whether it was an easement back there or not. So it abuts, it's a pretty large lot, so I'm trying to give them more time since they've started.
Okay. You do have proper notice with certified mail that was signed for?
Signed on 10/31/2020 and posted on 12/17/2020.
Definitely have good service. I will find property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the recommendation to allow an additional 60 days for the respondent to cure the violations. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 29, 5215 North Flagler Drive, CE 201100203.
City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance, Robert Watkins. This property was cited November the 19th. Certified mail was sent November the 19th. Certified mail was received. This property was cited for 18-106A, 105-1, 74-34A-1J, 94-442C-1, 94-42A, and 74-35B-1. Compliant violations, as of yesterday, were only 74-35-B-1. Remaining violations are 18-106A, 105-1, 74-34A-1-J, 94-442-C-1, 94-42A. The city is requesting an additional 30 days or $100 per day after. I've had no communication at all with the property owner.
I do find proper notice with the received certified mail. Okay. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited, except for 7435B1, which has complied. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow the respondent an additional 30 days to comply with the remaining violations. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 30 is complied, 640 58th Street, CE 201200220. Number 31, 707 50th Street, CE 201200042.
City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance, Robert Watkins. This property was cited December the 4th. Certified mail was sent December the 8th. Certified mail was returned. City Hall was posted January the 8th. This property was cited for 82-144, 22-32-A, 105.1, 94-302A-4, 74-34A-1J, 78-6, 94-71C, and 94-42A. Compliant violations were 82-144, 22-32-A, 94-302A-4, 74-34A-1J, 94-71C, and 94-42A. Remaining violations are 78-6 and 105.1. The city is requesting an additional 30 days or $100 per day after. I've had communication with the homeowner. He's started pulling his permits, replacing the fence, and putting down grass. He just needs additional time to complete everything.
All right, I do find proper notice with the posting and the returned certified mail. What is the fence that was, is that the fence?
It's the one on the east side. That picture should come up. See, that's the one he's replaced the parts. The previous picture, it was that green and falling all apart.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that.
and he already started replacing it. He has
Okay.
his permit in and everything for that.
All right, based on the evidence and the testimony, I will find the property has complied with all code sections cited in the notice except 78-6 and 105.1, which remain in violation. I'll accept the city's recommendation to allow the respondent an additional 30 days to comply, and thereafter daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 32, 5101 Pinewood Ave, CE 2012022.
City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance, Robert Watkins. This property was cited December the 17th. Certified mail was sent December the 17th. Certified mail was received December the 19th. This property was cited for 18-106A, 74-35-A, 18-106B, 74-34A-1J, and 34-102A. Compliant violations were 74-35A, 18-106B, 74-34A-1J. Remaining violations are 18-106A, 34-102A. I've spoke with the homeowner in this one as well. He's in the process of getting the vehicle removed. The city's requesting an additional 20 days or $100 per day after.
All right, I do find proper notice with the received certified mail. Based on the evidence and the testimony, I will find that the property has complied with the code sections cited in the notice, except for 18106A and 34102A, both of which remain in violation. I'll accept the city's recommendation to allow the respondent an additional 20 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 33, 621 54th Street, CE 2012023.
City of West Palm Beach, Robert Watkins. This property was cited December the 17th. Certified mail was sent December the 18th. Certified mail was returned. City Hall was posted January the 8th. This property was cited for 18-106B, 74-34A-1J, 94-71C, 74-34B-1. Compliant violations were 18-106B, 74-34A-1J. Remaining violations are 94-71C and 74-4-B-1. The city is requesting an additional 20 days or $100 per day after.
I do find proper notice with the posting and the return to certified mail. Was the appliance door, was it a refrigerator that was?
Yeah, and the
it
picture
was
says
turned
refrigerator.
towards the
Yeah,
house.
it's a refrigerator right there by the fence laying down.
So the doors are up against the wall.
Yep.
But they still need to be removed.
Yeah, they're storing is stored out there with a lot of shingles and all that stuff, and the refrigerator's right back there as well.
So you can't really get to it. Or it would be- I
The
mean.
doors are it's laying, so the doors are up. So if a kid plays
Oh,
with
I'm
it,
looking at something else then.
Yeah, if the door closes, then you'll see when it goes by again. It was in the two pictures prior to that one. See
That's
it
what I
right
was
there?
looking at.
There was a sofa too, but yeah. That was the refrigerator that was standing up when the doors were facing the unit. See it right there there's no fence on the other side. It's like a parkway and there's units in the rear.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so I did find proper notice. I do find the property remains in violation of 74-4B1 and 94-71C. What is that gray? Can you go back? Yeah, is that?
That's all buckets and roof shingles and all types of stuff back
What
there.
that big gray thing behind it, is that?
That's another appliance, a cooler.
But the door is the white one with the
Yep.
doors up against the wall.
Yep, that's the exact same thing. It's like an ice chest,
Okay.
but right now it's laid down with the doors facing up. Instead of, I guess, removing it, they just laid it down in the rear.
Okay. I'm going to accept the city's recommendation for 20 days to comply and daily fines of $100 per day, but I'm also going to find that that's a health, safety, and welfare concern with the appliance doors. If they're not cured within the 20 days, I'm going to authorize the city to enter the property, abate that violation, and assess those costs.
Okay.
Number 34, 1210 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, E CE 201200082.
Special Magistrate, can you swear me in?
Oh, you weren't, yes, sir. Do you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you very much. Go
Thank
ahead,
you.
Mr. Cartwright.
Officer Phil Cartwright, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The address at 1210 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard was originally cited on December 9th of 2020 for repair and interior walls and floors, external doors and windows, repair of plumbing fixtures, extermination of pest control, of insects and rodents, and repair of electrical outlets. Service was achieved by certified mail. The property was posted on December 7th of 2020, as well as City Hall. All violations are still current. The city is asking that the property come into compliance, excuse me, within the next 35 days or $250 a day thereafter.
Is this like a tenant complaint kind of?
Yeah, this individual one was a complaint that came in. It's really bad on the inside. And the reason that we're asking for such a stiff penalty is because this has been an ongoing situation with this complex.
Okay. All right, with the certified mail and posting, I will find that you have proper notice. Let's see. Saw that. What was the electrical issue?
She has one working outlet throughout the entire apartment. All the rest of the electrical outlets are defective and don't work. The reason that we're giving them the 35 days is because there's also a bedroom window that needs to be completely taken out and permits pulled. And also there are some drywall issues as well.
All right, based on that testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'm going to accept the city's recommendation, allow an additional 35 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $250 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 35, 623rd Street, CE 2012020.
Officer Phil Cartwright, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property at 623rd Street was originally cited on December 9th of 2020 for excessive overgrowth and graffiti. Service was achieved by certified mail. The property was posted on December 9th of 2020, as well as City Hall. The city is asking that the property come into compliance within 5 days or abatement.
What is that what we're talking about with the excessive?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So abatement in this case would be going on the property, painting over the graffiti, and then cutting the overgrowth back?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
All right. I do find proper notice with the certified mail and posting. I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow the respondent an additional 5 days to cure the violations. Thereafter, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate the health, safety, and welfare violations by painting over the graffiti and cutting back the excessive growth and assess those costs.
Number 36, 1328th Street, CE 2012022.
Officer Phil Cartwright, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The address at 1320 8th Street was originally cited on December 18th of 2020 for excessive overgrowth, landscape maintenance, failure to comply, and garbage can placement. Service was achieved by certified mail. The property was posted on December 18th, 2020, as well as City Hall. All violations are still current. The city is asking that the property come into compliance within the next 5 days or abatement. Actually, what we can do is we'll abate 18106B, 18106K, 18215B. It will all be part of the abatement, and then there will be a running fine of $50 per day for 7434-A-1-J.
All right, I do find proper notice with the posting and the certified mail in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find the property remains in violation as cited. I find that the violations of 18106B and K and 18215B constitute threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. For those violations, I'll allow the respondent an additional 5 days to comply. After that, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate those violations, and assess the costs. For 7434A1J, I likewise allow the respondent 5 days to comply, but thereafter daily fines of $50 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 37, 1437th Street, CE201-20280.
This property has been complied with this morning.
Number 38, 8096th Street, CE201-20281.
Officer Phil Cartwright, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement. The property at 8009 6th Street was originally cited on December 23rd of 2020 for repair of roof and walls and foundations, repair of external doors and windows, exterior paint, clean and sanitary conditions, excessive overgrowth, landscape maintenance, and address characters. Service was achieved by certified mail. The property was posted on December 23rd, 2020, as well as City Hall. 18106B, 18106A, 18106K, all have been corrected. The violations that are still current are 18103B, 18103E, and 18103J. The city is asking that those violations come into compliance within the next 30 days or $100 per day thereafter.
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry?
Can you tell me your request for relief?
The city is asking that those issues come into compliance within the next 35 days or $100 per day thereafter.
$78.6, what's going on? Is that compliant?
That's address characters as well. That's also should be included on that as well.
So that's still in violation?
Yes, sir.
All right. So on the 18103s,
That's just exterior paint. The entire building needs to be painted.
right, but it looked like there were some serious roof issues in some of the.
That would be part of 18103B.
So, I mean, my question, I guess, is 35 days enough time for them to do whatever, to get whatever permits they need? And
The reason that I'm asking for 35 days is because I did speak to one of the active agents for the property that did mention that within the next 2 to 3 days, they would be applying for a demolition permit.
oh, okay, so the whole thing's probably coming down?
Yes, sir.
Understood.
Yes, sir.
All right, then I will find proper notice in this case with the certified mail and the posting. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I'll find the property has complied with 18106A, B, and K, but remains in violation of the other sections cited in the notice. I'll accept the city's recommendation in this case. I will allow an additional 35 days for the respondent to comply and cure the outstanding violations. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
39, 8009 6th Street, CE201-20282.
Officer Phil Cartwright, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property at 8009 6th Street was originally cited on December 23rd of 2020 for boarding certificate, excuse me, securing requirements for a vacant structure, painting of boards, which is also part of the boarding certificate, failure to comply, and the boarding certificate itself. Service was achieved by certified mail. The property was posted on December 23rd of 2020. All the violations are still current. The city is asking that the property come into compliance within 10 days or abatement. The structure right now is partially boarded. The boarding certificates that they usually apply for are only good for 6 months. The last time that they did apply for one was back in December 18th of 2018. So I do know that, like we said before, about the property being demolished, but I would rather them go ahead and secure it should that fall through and they don't follow through with it immediately. At least the structure is boarded and secured.
Okay, so this is sort of a belt and suspender approach, just to make sure. Understood. I will find proper notice in this case with the certified mail and the posting. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation. Allow 10 days for the respondent to cure the violations. I do find that they constitute a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare, and therefore, after the 10 days, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate those violations, and assess the costs.
Thank you, sir.
Number 40, 3607 Windsor Avenue, CE 201-20213.
Good morning. Ray Leung, City West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 3607 Windsor Avenue was initially cited on 12/16 of 20 with a notice of violation hand-delivered on 12/18 of 20. Certified mail was sent on 12/16 of 20. This property was cited for 18162A, 2232A, and 78-1. As of the 18th, yesterday, 78-1 is complied. All other violations still exist. Contact has been made with the owner, who did request more time to acquire the rental license. Therefore, the city requests an additional 30 days to come into compliance, or $200 per day until compliance is achieved.
All right, well, you have proper notice with the hand delivery and the certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I'll find the property remains in violation of 18162A and 2232A, but has complied with 78-1. I'll accept the city's recommendation to allow the respondent an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 41, 906 32nd Street, CE 201-20228.
Ray Leung, City West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 906 32nd Street was initially cited on 12/17 of 20 with a notice of violation posted at the property on City Hall on 1/4 of 21. Certified mail was sent on 12/18 of 20. Property was cited for 18106B, 944462, 18215B, and 94302A4. Contact has been made with the owner this morning, but all violations still exist. Special Magistrate, the city requests an additional 45 days to come into compliance with 94302A4, or $100 per day, until compliance is achieved. For 18106B, 944462, and 18215B, the city requests 10 additional days to come into compliance or abatement, since the overgrowth does pose a potential threat to the health, safety, and welfare of the community by being a possible haven for pests, rodents, vermin, etc. It's the wrong house. 906 32nd.
All right, I do find proper notice in this case with the certified mail and the posting. Based on the evidence and the testimony, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation in this case for 94302A4, the fence maintenance and repair. I'll allow the respondent 45 days to cure those violations. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved. For the remaining 3 violations regarding excessive growth, failure to comply, and landscape maintenance, I do find that the condition of those violations constitutes a threat to public health, safety, and welfare. I will allow the respondent 10 days to cure those violations. Thereafter, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate, and assess the costs.
Thank you.
Number 424404 Pinewood Avenue, CE 2012028.
Ray Leung, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 4404 Pinewood Avenue was initially cited on 12/19/20 with the notice of violation posted at the property and City Hall on 1/4/21. Certified mail was sent on 12/21/20. Property was cited for 781, 78-6, and 9471C. Contact has not been made with the owner, but 781 and 9471C is in compliance. Code section 786 is not complied. The address characters. Special Magistrate, the city requests additional 10 days to come into compliance, or $25 per day until compliance is achieved.
All right, I find proper notice with the certified mail in this case. Based on testimony and evidence, I will find the property has complied with all cited violations except 78-6. For that, I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow the respondent 10 additional days to comply, and assess daily fines of $25 per day for each day after that it remains in violation.
Thank you.
Number 44, 3500 Greenwood Avenue, CE 201202252.
Ray Leung, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 3500 Greenwood Avenue was initially cited on 12/21/20 with the notice of violation posted at the property and City Hall on 1/4/21. Certified mail was sent on 12/21/20. Property was cited for 18162A and 2232A. Contact has been made with the owner, but the violations still remain. Special Magistrate, the city requests an additional 30 days to come into compliance, or $200 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. I find proper notice with the posting and the certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation for an additional 30 days to allow the respondent to cure the violations. Thereafter, daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 45, 703 43rd Street, CE 2012023.
Ray Leung, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 703 43rd Street was initially cited on 12/21/20 with the notice of violation posted at the property and City Hall on 1/4/21. Certified mail was sent on 12/21/20. Property was cited for 34102B, 94273D, 31B3, and 94487B1. Contact has been made with the owner, and all violations are complied with the exception of 34102B, the inoperative vehicle. Special Magistrate, the city requests an additional 10 days to come into compliance, or $50 per day until compliance is achieved.
What's, is it a
It's the
registration, or is it a, like?
no
I didn't
tag,
see
no license at all on the.
I see.
Yep.
There it is. All right. I do find proper notice with the posting and certified mail in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation of City Code Section 34102B, inoperative vehicle, but has complied with the other cited code sections. I'll accept the city's recommendation to allow the respondent 10 additional days to comply and cure the violations. After that, daily fines of $50 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
And the remaining cases are rescheduled. Do I have to read them? Number 46, 630 Sapadilla, 125, CE 20090313. Number 47, 5113 Palmbrook Circle, CE 20110143. Number 48, 5079 Palmbrook Circle, CE 20110145. Number 49, 4716 Palmbrook Circle, CE 20110146. Number 50, 4866 Palmbrook Circle, CE 20110147. Number 51, 6155 Sugarloaf Lane, CE 20110148. Number 52, 9825 Baywinds Drive, 1102, CE 20110149. Number 53, 9901 Baywinds Drive, 3107 to CE 20110150. Number 549901 Baywinds Drive, 3205, CE2011051. Number 559833 Baywinds Drive, 7104, CE201105152. Number 569833 Baywinds Drive, 7108, CE201105153. Number 579833 Baywinds Drive, 7201, CE201105154. And number 58780 Marina Del Rey Lane, number 2, CE201105155.
All right, so we have, looks like, 3 agenda items for 2 different addresses on reduction hearings.
Right. One of them is actually here early if you want to hear that one now. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, I couldn't predict the unexpected absence. That's why all those were rescheduled.
Sure.
So that's why we're done so early. But if you want to hear this one now, he's
I
here.
have no objection if the city's comfortable proceeding in advance of the technical agenda hearing date. Which one are we going to hear?
It's numbers 2 and 3 for 616 Division Avenue, CE9090917 and CE10060316.
All right.
I believe he still needs to be sworn in, sir.
All right, sir, if you'll go ahead and raise your right hand, let me place you under oath. Do you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you very much. Go ahead and tell me your name and address.
Christos Antonio, 1640 C Road, Loxahatchee, Florida, 33470.
Thank you, sir. So the way we'll handle this, I'm going to get some background information on the cases from the city. After I've heard from the city, then I'll come back to you, and you can tell me about the request for the reduction, and then once I've heard everything, I will enter an order. Okay?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Posner.
Mitch Posner, Code Enforcement, City of West Palm Beach. Doing these in chronological order. Oldest one first. Case ending in 917, 616 Division. Date order 11/4/09. Fine started 12/8/09. Ran for 1,268 days, $126,800, $100 a day. Date of compliance 5/29/13. Case ending in 316, 616 Division. Date ordered 8/4/2010. Fine started 6/11/2010. Ran for 46 days, total $3,450. $75 a day. Date of compliance 7/27/2010. The applicant is a previous owner, but was the owner who caused the lien, so it's still cross-attaching for him. Based on the size of the first one, instead of the usual 50%, the city's asking for 30%.
Thanks. Before I go to the respondent, can you tell me a little bit about it? The 2010 case shows that it was a repeat.
Yes, sir. It was a repeat fine for overgrowth based on case CE 0909-0916, which would have been within the 5 years for case in 2010.
Okay. So there was another case that's not part of...
Under their ownership, magistrate, there were 52 code cases. That would be between July of '01 and April of 2011.
Got it. Okay, let me come back over to the applicant. Go ahead, sir, you can tell me about your request for the lien reduction.
Yes, well, first, the case that I was prepared for is, there were 2 cases that I prepared for, and the one is correct, but the other one is not. The one that I'm still looking at is CE 08120521. I
I
think.
don't see that one on my agenda.
No, wait a minute. No, it's, hold on, let me look at your paper that you had outside the agenda. Okay. That is this one. Um, 90, yeah, I got 72. That's in CE 08120521, I believe.
So that would have been a 2008 case that
That was fine started at 2009.
Our records are showing that that one, the lien is barred by foreclosure. Arlene, can you chime in?
They all went to foreclosure.
They are. This one, yeah, he probably needs to go, or that one should probably be included, because that one's foreclosed as a property, but it still attaches to him.
But it shows that you changed it to foreclosed status.
Yeah, that's what it should
So I
be.
didn't.
That's what we always
Sure,
do. But I don't,
No, you're right.
these two, I don't know, imagine.
No, those are still good. So basically, there's 3 liens, not 2.
It's so slow, I don't know what's going on.
So there's 3 liens, not 2, which means.
24,200. So your understanding is you're here for 3 code cases?
3 cases?
Is that your understanding? Is that what you're saying?
Actually, 2. I was not, I didn't know I was going to get for the 316 one. But, if that exists, I can.
Special Magistrate,
Yes, ma'am.
we are prepared. There are a total of 3 cases, although you see 2 on the agenda.
Okay.
So our position is that if the respondent is prepared to go forward on all 3, we can move forward. But if he is not prepared on all 3, then this would have to be done a different day. It's 3 or nothing.
I am.
So we have 3 cases. Are you prepared to talk about all 3 of them?
The 2 that we have here and the one that I just mentioned?
The additional one would be
Okay.
CE 08120521, and the total on that is 74,200.
Yes.
Okay.
That's fine by me if everyone's
Okay,
ready
so
to.
the third one that we didn't have on the agenda is case ending in 521. Date ordered 2/25 of '09, fine started at 3/30 of '09. Total is 74,200.
74,200.
Correct, it was $100 a day. Date of compliance was 4/11 of 2011. It was for a COU.
For what?
Or for no COU, for rental.
Okay.
It doesn't change the ask. 30% is the city's ask, especially based on 52 cases under their ownership in 10 years.
Okay. And they're all the same property, so I don't need any additional.
Same property, sir.
Okay, so we've got the first case with the $126,800 lien, that was from 2009, the 2010 case with the $3,450 lien, and then the 2008 case number that happened in 2009 with a $74,000 200 lien. Okay, I'm caught up. If you're prepared to proceed, go right ahead.
Okay. I'm here to show that that I was in extreme emotional and financial distress at the time that these liens were developing, and it made it impossible or unusually and extremely difficult to comply with the code enforcement under the 2 orders, now 3 orders. That's what has been resolved. Before I start, I want to point out that the dates between which these liens were assessed seem incorrect because they continue beyond the foreclosure date. The foreclosure date was August 17th, 2010. And one of these liens is going all the way to 2013.
Okay.
So I have made an analysis of what that would adjust to. I'm prepared to present it to you. I have owned and operated real estate for 15 years. Leading to the 2008 crash. During this time, I had worked and complied with pretty much all of the code enforcement. All these code enforcement cases are seemed subsequent to 2008. And not only in West Palm Beach, but also in Palm Beach County. I had property in Lake Worth and in town of Lantana. I was doing this for 15 years. I had continuous flow of work. And I always tried to comply with the code enforcement. There are 3 reasons why I was unable to comply. First, I have a severely disabled son, Paris Antonio. Paris has been disabled since birth. At the time the 2 liens were developing, my wife and I were taking care of him. Paris is well documented with the Agency of Persons with Disabilities. Paris needs 24/7 caregiver for feeding, dressing, walking, medication, and he's incontinent. That means that he's on Pampers all the time, diapers. We did that for 23 years, my wife and I, from birth until we could no longer afford it in 2010. Most people don't realize that that takes 4 8-hour shifts every week. That is 3 shifts Monday through Friday, 8-hour shifts Monday through Friday, and 1 shift during the weekend, the whole weekend. On top of that, we had to work and make a living. To illustrate what it takes to take care of Paris, I have to say that Paris now receives a little over $100,000 a year through disability and the Medicare waiver program. A little over $100,000. The task of taking care of Paris was tremendous. For more than 23 years, my wife could not work. At times, we had to pay our last dime out of our pocket so that we can briefly enjoy the freedoms that most people take for granted. In one occasion, my wife spent 4 months on a cot at the Shriners Hospital in Tampa. We used to live in California, and we had gone to Shriners in San Francisco as well. The task of taking care was tremendous. For more than, in the 23 years, my wife and I took only 1 5-day vacation out of our family, out of visiting our family. And then we lost our income, because what happened in 2008 was not only the violations you see there. Behind it, there's a lot of, we lost our income, and we needed to take care of our son and produce to make a living at the time. Second, our loss of income. I had lost all my investment properties that represented 15 years of work between 2008 and 2011. In the years between 2008 and 2011, I watched 15 years of my work evaporate. I mean, it was a disaster. Replacing our income was extremely difficult because of the economic conditions at the time and the large amounts that we had to produce. We went through this time only with help from my family, especially my mother. And third, it was the emotional distress. Under all this pressure, I passed a period of depression during which I was often unable to manage these events. They were beyond me. I couldn't come up with the money to pay the mortgage. I couldn't stop this. I couldn't find the money to go and correct, and the time and the concentration to do all this. In the recent years, I have been taking care of my mother. I have documentation for all this. I can show you the most recent medical diagnosis from my son, and I'm going to talk about my mother next. I can show you the doctor's note for that. Not letter. In the recent years, I have been taking care of my mother, who is now 85 years old. My mother was diagnosed with dementia and has lost her ability to drive. My mother needs long-term care. She had always been there for us, and now we need to be there for her so she can continue age in place. That means we don't put her in an unfamiliar environment in an institution or another house. Even though my son, even today, my son, that he's in a group home, he's 35 years old. The group home doesn't cover him 100%. I sometimes have to intervene in his care, like times where he goes to the hospital. The group has no responsibility at the hospital. They deliver to the hospital and they expect the hospital to manage him. And he is not manageable. He will not stay in bed. If he's not comfortable in bed, he wants to get down, and he'll be, if he could, on the hallway. But he can get hurt in between. So one of us has to go to the hospital and stay with him continuously, even today. I hope you understand that my wife and I have not lived a normal life like most people, and that these liens are not a result of disrespect, of defiance of the authority of code enforcement. They are the result of my inability to react to the events that happened in 2008. So I'm asking you to forego any punitive aspects of these liens and let us compensate the city for administrative cost plus interest. And thank you for hearing my case.
All right, thank you, sir. Let me ask the city to respond, especially on the comment about 2013 versus 2010.
That was something that was not on the, since it was not on the agenda, it's not something that we had investigated, and thus we're trying to look into it as quickly as we can while he talked. I don't think we're finished yet. There are about 7 or 8 different foreclosures on the court's docket from 2008, so it's taking us a minute. So if we can have another recess, if your magistrate would give us that opportunity.
Of course, no, I'll be happy to do that.
Thank you.
Sir, you said you had some documents that you wanted me to look at. If you can
Yes,
show
sir.
those to Mr. Posner first, and then I'll take a look. Is there any objection to these being made part of the record?
No objection.
All right. So are these copies that we can have, or do you need the
No, I made them for you. You can have
Okay.
them. I have one more copy too.
All right, without objection, the respondents, the following documents are made part of the record. We have the Countrywide Home, final judgment of mortgage foreclosure, dated August 17th of 2010. We have the guardianship physician's report dated January 21st of 2020. We have the correspondence from Dr. Lysaker, I guess, Lysaker?
Yes, Lysaker.
And that's dated November 13th, 2020. And then I believe we have the respondent, or the applicant's outline of the comments that you made to me today.
Yes,
So those are all,
and there is one, you didn't mention, was Dr. Renee's diagnosis for my son.
is that an additional document that you have?
Yes, that you should have it. I should have given it to you.
I have what I just read out. I have the,
I think it was the first one, maybe.
is that the guardianship physician's report for dated January 21st? Is that what you're speaking about?
January 21st. Let me look.
Physician's
Yes.
report, adult ward.
January 21st.
Yes,
20.
that is,
Yes,
I
okay.
have that. That is also made part of the record. So those will all be the respondents' exhibits for this hearing. So why don't, if you want to have a seat, we'll let the city look
Oh,
through
okay.
that other issue, and then we'll come back
Thank you.
when we're ready. And in the meantime, and then we have one other matter for 11:30, is that right? So we'll go ahead and go off the record until we're ready to proceed with either of those cases.